Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Saggies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Saggy gang in mid-March? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in mid-March. What is going on? What's the vibe and energy around here for my good friends? Please and thank you. Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, I mean, this fits the vibe with what we saw last week. It's like almost to a T. We have this Queen of Swords energy here in a very powerful way. Now, I'm not sure if you're connected to an air sign. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, that could be them showing up here in the front. But to me, it's like a page out of the reading from last week, and we'll talk about that a little further, but it's very serious, very stern. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So again, Queen of Swords vibes all over the place. We see this strong, powerful, divine feminine figure. And of course, this is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck. But she just screams Queen of Swords to me. So what are some of the things we think of the Queen of Swords? Straightforward, no nonsense, no BS, not playing around, not playing games. So for a lot of Saggies, you could be in that mode and mindset. If there's certain things where you are a little too invested in emotionally, Spirit could just be telling you to keep it pushing, keep it moving. Now, worst case scenario, this could represent somebody you're connected to. They might be a little crabby, they might be a little mean, they might be a little aggressive, because that's the downside of the Queen of Swords energy. Aside from all the other stuff I said and the air sign connections, she could be cold. She could say some pretty nasty things sometimes. So watch out for communication in this time. But for a lot of Saggies, this might just be you being very straightforward, blunt, and honest. And as I always say, as a fire sign myself, as someone that knows plenty of beautiful Saggies, I know you guys could be like that sometimes. Nothing wrong with being blunt, nothing wrong with being honest. But this energy can also be a little harsh from time to time. So we'll see if that shows up throughout the rest of the reading. We'll let her chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Saggy. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. I know I was alluding to it a little earlier, but the reading was titled It's Game Over. Okay, so just like this lady right here in the front, that was the big energy that showed up throughout most of your reading last week. Where like, yeah, there could be some funky things going on. There could be some not so nice energies, but it's like, no, don't pay attention to that. There could be certain things like you're trying to put it out of your mind, certain things you're trying to ignore. But I just felt like someone that added up to here with like playing any sort of games. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my beautiful Saggy friends. What is happening in mid-March, please? Let's get these first cards out for you. Oh, almost. That was the Emperor. It almost came out. It came out of my hand and went back in. And you know I only read jumpers. Okay, 7 of Wands, very fiery. That could be good. It could be good. Let's get this tucked in right here by the Amethyst. I like the 7 of Wands, especially for fire signs. It's a card of action, but sometimes it could be a little confrontational. So it's like we do have this theme that we have been continuing to see, where the energy is a little confrontational. Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more. What do we got here? Thank you. Again, so this card showed up for you last week, the 7 of Swords in position number 2. We're most definitely going to have to look at that a little bit further. Also, the fact that we have double 7, so it's like you have repeating numbers here, you have repeating themes. Let's get one more. I mean, that Queen of Swords energy from earlier, that is the cure to this type of vibe. And we got the Tower here on the back end. So we are most definitely going to need to dive further on all this, Sagittarius. Now, you know me, I'm an optimistic reader. I don't always go pessimistic, but there could most definitely be some things that need further attention or need your close attention in this time when this alignment of cards show up. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, this is not the most comfortable spread that we're looking at. Now, there are some themes that we're going to focus in on. And you know, I always say all cards could be positive, all cards could be challenges. Notice we have a lot of fire and air mixture here in the front. So mixed fire and air, it's very explosive. We have the Tower, although that's water energy, can also be very explosive. So the energy here on the top is just volatile, all over the place. Again, so whether this is aggression, whether this is things switching and changing and turning real quick, that's the thing with fire energy. And listen, as a fire sign, we can work with it. We can work within it. We are more adaptable to it than a lot of other signs, but it still might be a little intense. That's something I'm picking up off of this. Also, the number signs for a lot of Saggies, you might be picking up a lot of omens, synchronicities, stuff like that. But we're going to have to look at this further. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. So position number one, we're starting with the Seven of Wands, and with what we have coming up in the rest of the reading, this could be a blessing in disguise. We see this individual, they're standing up there, and it looks like they're fending off a whole group of people. Let's go through the positives of this first. This is an extremely determined card, where it's like, if I set my mind to something, I will not quit. This is an energy that does not give up. This is an energy that keeps fighting. So it doesn't matter what life is throwing my way, it's not stopping me. I don't care what the tests are. I don't care what the obstacles are, the problem situation, don't matter. I'm going to keep pushing. So that's a really good thing with this card. But the challenges, sometimes it could be feeling cornered. Sometimes it could be feeling trapped. There might be certain situations where it's like, what can I really do here? There's nothing I could really do. And that's not a good place to put a Saggy, right? Like, I know Saggies are freedom-loving individuals for the most part. You never really want to feel cornered. Now, this could be on a spectrum. I always say that. It doesn't have to be worst case scenario. You might just have a little bit of cabin fever. Maybe you need to switch up the routine a little bit when this card is in the mix. But again, it's fiery. This person's literally fighting people with sticks, so this can represent conflict, anger, upset. So we're definitely going to want to look at it further. Moving to the center, we get to our good pal here, the Seven of Swords. Now, in the positive sense, and again, I'm going to try to keep it optimistic here for you. The Seven of Swords, we have him here. He has his little fez on, and he's getting away with all the swords. In the most positive sense, it could just represent something that's unknown, something that we don't quite see yet, something that's unresolved, or it's like, something that is outside of our view. So this is an energy of secrecy, the unexpected, the surprising. Makes sense with the elemental mixture and what we have going on back here. So we definitely want to keep a close eye on him. But where the challenge comes in, the Seven of Swords can be a very underhanded type of energy, where someone is showing you one thing but doing another, where they smile in your face, give you a little sucker punch in the back. That's like the kind of vibe we pick up with the Seven of Swords. It could represent sneaks. It could represent untrustworthy people. So it could represent certain individuals that you need to keep a very close eye on, where it's like they might say something, but they're going to do something totally different. So especially with what we have here, I mean, again, it could just be something that's not quite seen, but I'm always extra cautious when the Seven of Swords shows up. And this is the second week in a row where you've gotten this. So we definitely want to see what the clarifier is when it shows up. Now, moving to the back end, we have one of the most famous cards in the whole entire tarot deck. I'm sure you've seen this a time or two or 10. We have the Tower. Now, a portion of you might be connected to Scorpio, this Scorpio energy right here. And you see the imagery, it's not the nicest. So when we see the Tower, yes, it could represent shock. So when you mix the explosive energy here with the shocking energy, this could represent endings. It could represent something coming to a close. It could be hitting the reset button on something as well, where it's like, okay, well, that's not working. I need a different approach. But the Tower is explosive and volatile, like the rest of the reading we've seen here in the front. So whether it is a shocking situation or someone's acting in a way that you don't quite comprehend, the energy is kind of all over the place for you this week, Sagittarius. So again, if that's not resonating and hitting for you, please watch your other alignments. But this doesn't have to be a bad thing, because all Towers could, I mean, some could be good. Some surprises could be good, but we really need to get more detail. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Saggy friends. We definitely need to see what's up. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Seven of Wands time. What's happening? What is this aggression? Three of Pentacles. And I'd feel for a lot of you, you might just not have the energy to deal with someone or something. Or if you do have the energy to it, it could be something that's getting very tiring here. We have the Three of Pentacles in the upright underneath the Seven of Wands. And when I see this together, I mean, for some of you, this could be calling in reinforcements. So if you are going through a problematic time, if you're having issues at work, issues in personal life, Seven of Wands with the Three of Pentacles is like, all right, well, ask for help if you need it. If you feel like something's a little too much, ask for advice or ask for help. Don't be afraid to do that if necessary. So I feel like that's a very important part to this reading. But at the same time, when I see the Seven of Wands with the Three of Pentacles, it's like, I don't have the energy for this right now. So there could be either a situation or a person that could be very draining to you when I see this here on the front end. Now, obviously, take that for whatever it's worth. For some of you, if we were to take the most optimistic mindset, aside from like the help and assistance, when I see the Seven of Wands with the Three of Pentacles, there could be challenges in the work and finance area of life, but it's like, I will not stop. I will keep pushing. There is a certain sense of determination here, but at the same time, I'm getting that very draining type of energy. Okay, so whether this is somebody who is like angry, upset, mad, and just their energy drains you in one way or another, we're just going to keep going and see what shows up. I don't want to overtalk that, but I also feel like if there is something that's a little too rough, or if you need assistance, don't be afraid to ask for it if necessary. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's keep moving. Let's see what else shows up here, because I feel like the main meat and potatoes are going to be here with the Seven of Swords and the Tower. That's where the energy really goes buck wild. But let's see what's up with the Seven of Swords. See what's going on there. Where's the Seven of Swords here? Why is the Seven of Swords here? Double threes. So you have double threes, you have double sevens. Okay. For a lot of Saggies, just watch the company you keep in this time, please. Now, for some of you, this could be okay with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups, but like I was saying, I mean, there's a time and a place, right? Sometimes our social batteries are full. Sometimes they're not so much, but there is a strong pointer towards somebody in your social circle, right? With the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, these are the people that surround us. So getting involved in anyone's group drama, anyone's group stuff, I feel like one-to-one is best. In any situations you're going through, like one-to-one is the best way to solve it, or smaller the better. I don't know why it's showing up like that, Saggy. So if that's just the type of person you are, if you're in hermit mode right now, I'd say that you're probably moving in the right direction. But there could be somebody in your circle that you need to keep an eye on, because they could be telling you something but not showing the true colors. Like, I feel like there's something that's being hidden. It's like, keep away, if that makes sense. It's like, oh no, look at this, but the real action's going on here. It's like a magician. It's like sleight of hand, if that makes sense. Okay, now the Three of Cups can be real good. If we get a very positive card clarifying the Tower, maybe something great will come from this. But I feel like this could be a warning. There might be a person you need to be aware of in this time. And if that is the case, your intuition's probably already telling you who that might be. For another portion of you, now might not be the most social time for whatever reason. But let's keep moving. Let's go in on the Tower. We'll see what that has to say, but I do feel like there's multiple warnings this week. But now, yeah, with the number signs, just watch out for the signs from the universe, because it's like your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, they're like trying to tell you something or trying to show you something. But let's see why the Tower is here for Saggy, and we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. So what's going on with that Tower? What's going on? Strength. Okay. So although the energy is explosive, and I feel like there's multiple warnings here, I like this energy here on the back end, because the Strength card could be karmic in nature, but it's also universal. It's also angelic. And I love whenever it shows up because it is obviously showing up in times where we are being tested, where our patience is being tested. There's a lot of indicators of karmic universal energy in your spread this week, even though we don't have Lady Justice and the Magician. We have the repeating threes, we have the repeating sevens, we have strength with the infinity symbol over the head. So it's like, this is a time of metamorphosis, and there could be various things testing your patience, testing your willpower. So just know that there could be various things testing you. Now, if you have gone through recent tower moments, or you do in the near future, right? Because the tower can be shocking situations or just shocking events in general. The strength card tells us that we have the determination, the grit, the staying power to get through it. There might be a situation where the softer approach might be best. And again, as someone that knows Sagittarius energy very well, you guys are a mutable sign, which means you're pretty adaptable compared to a lot of the rest of the zodiac. Spirit could be saying a softer approach might be best for whatever it is you're dealing with. Even though we have this energy of like, yeah, keep an eye on that person, watch out for that person. I feel like if you were to charge in and like battle, it would be worse. Even though that might be your first instinct is to like meet aggression with aggression. But to me, it's like a softer approach will be okay and everything will be okay when I see the strength card under the tower. But there are things testing. There are things that will be testing you if they aren't right now. Let's go through and do a quick recap. And then we'll do a quick shadow card. The energy is very intense for you this week, similar to last week. But if you kindly look in the box, repeating numbers, we have universal energy, there's a lot of karmic energy, there's all sorts of stuff happening here. But position number one, we have the 7 of Wands with the 3 of Pentacles. If you are going through a difficult time, Spirit could be saying like, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Call in the reinforcements if you're going through a difficult time. Don't have to do it on your own. But I also felt like a very draining individual or a situation that's very draining. So it's like, I don't have the energy for this for whatever reason. So I'd say conserve your energy, conserve your social battery. Moving to the center, we have the 7 of Swords with the 3 of Cups. Although this is a little different, it doesn't feel nicer. I did say there could be a person you need to keep a very close eye on. Beware of them because they might be showing you a different aspect of themselves than what's really happening. But aside from that, it could be the energy starting to improve. Just don't get meddled up in other people's stuff as much as possible. I felt like smaller is better. To try to stay out of group things. Now moving to the back end, we have the tower with the strength card. Yeah, we have the tests showing up here, but I feel like regardless of what you're going through, regardless of the explosive energy and the warnings that we have within the reading itself, everything will be okay. You will be okay. And I like the end result of this. It just feels like there's so much influx. There's so much fluctuation and intensity in the energy. So you might want to lay low. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further, of course. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Saggy? Quick, very, very quick. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands, so even in the shadows, we do have some fiery energy, and it's not necessarily bad. I feel like the 6 of Wands shadow card might be the best thing out of the whole entire spread we have going on. Now, one thing I do want to note, if you are connected to a Leo, their energy is showing up here, and it's also showing up here. So keep that in mind. If you have dealings with a Leo, there's just something here that their energy shows up twice. But the 6 of Wands, to me, is a card of victory. It's a card of coming out on top, overcoming things. It's a card of recognition. So for a lot of Saggies in this time, this could be a really fantastic thing. Like once you step out of whatever all this intensity is, this 6 of Wands could be on the other side. And it's like, okay, maybe this was worth it. Maybe whatever all this is, maybe that was worth it to reach this. Now, the only thing I will say with the 6 of Wands is that it can represent someone's ego. So whether it's someone you're connected to and their ego might be a little bruised, that could be the case whenever this card is here, or just watch out for any individuals that are too self-centered when this shows up in the shadows. So Saggy, that is what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little glimpse into whatever situations you're dealing with, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March schedule is up and live, but for the March subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, where in this beautiful big world are you from? I'll go first. I'm from New Jersey, and you could just put it down in the comments and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.